What's changing from today? Is it garden centres are open? Some estate agents are open once again, which means the housing market, which has just been in deep freeze since the coronavirus lockdown began, can actually start to move again. Viewings and removal firms and conveyancers can restart operations. It's estimated there are 450,000 buyers and renters with plans just completely on pause at the minute. Let's speak to Martin Williamson, a director and head of the residential property department at Latimer, Hinks Solicitors in Darlington. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Williamson. Is this a relief to have this sort of start to edge along once again?
Hi, Anthony. Yes, it is. But we and a few other firms, we've been ticking along over the past few weeks. We've religiously followed government guidance, of course. We've moved to working remotely. But we've carried on doing those parts of the process which the regulations allow us to do, because although there are some regulations which effectively mean that people can't move house, there hasn't been any prohibition on lawyers continuing to get on with some of the background checks and works and investigations that we usually we have to do as part of the process. So we've still been hard at it as far as the regulations have let us. But obviously, now that the estate agents are able to organise viewings and do a little bit more in their sphere, we expect that there'll be an uptake in new instructions. Some surveyors were prevented from carrying out surveys. Other parts of the process were on hold. So it is likely that there'll be some change and perhaps a lot more activity now.
Yeah, and I suppose anybody who was, I've been through the house buying process a number of times, and my goodness, it can be it can be stressful. And then to add a delay of a couple of months to it when you've got chains involved as well. I mean, have some of the clients been saying to you that this is? Have they stopped some of the clients? Have they stopped the process? I mean, or is there a backlog?
Not everybody's in the same boat. There are people who are perfectly fit and healthy and young and just want to crack on. And for them, they've just been drumming their fingers, twiddling their thumbs, waiting for it all for them to get on as much as they can. But there are those in the population who, of course, are completely isolated and vulnerable. And for them, it's a very different thing. They don't want to move. They want to stay where they are until everything is safe and they feel safe. So not everybody's in the same boat. But the truth is that most people have been very, very sensible and pragmatic about it. People have understood that, they really just need, in everybody's best interests, to sit back and hold tight. There have been a few people who, there might have been a lot of money riding on things happening by a certain time scale. It's been difficult for them. There's been people who've lost out. But most people have taken a very sensible and pragmatic approach.
Obviously, not everything is. It's not like flicking a switch and everything's going to get back up and running today.
No, that's
so,
right. Yeah.
How long are you looking at? Hopefully, once the cogs all start moving, that people who might be stuck in the process could get moving.
Sure. Well, as I say, there are quite a lot of law firms and other professionals involved in the process that have been carrying on working behind the scenes, and things have moved forward. But you're right. There are a lot of people who've just sat back, and they will probably, be picking up the telephones to their solicitors today or the estate agents tomorrow to see what's going on or to try and drive things along. We're not one of them, I'm pleased to say, but there are some firms where large numbers of staff have been furloughed, and they're probably not going to be able to do very much until they get people back into their buildings with all of the work they're going to need to do, to make sure that that's a safe process. And the same is the case with banks and building societies and surveyors' offices. People also need with things being on hold, just need to stop and check to make sure that everything is as it was before lockdown started. I'm thinking particularly the fact that people need to make sure that their mortgage offers haven't expired during this, long hold up. That's happened in a few cases, and you don't want to suddenly be surprised by finding out that your mortgage offer's no good anymore. So people just need to. You can't expect that it's all going to happen instantly. There's going to be a bit of a take-up, but some transactions are probably better placed to get on and crack through to completion than others.
Martin, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Martin Williamson, a director and head of the residential property department at Latimer Hinks Solicitors in Darlington.